Wednesday morning in the gym. Oh my goodness, we've got an early session today. 6:45 a.m. I have a client. Now, made me want me to talk about my word for the year, which my word for the year is commitment. And it was funny, yesterday on my Instagram, I put up a story of me turning the lights on in the gym and kind of finally told my Instagram that I was doing this job, and I'd written a post the other day about my 5 different current job titles. I think the episode the other day was Put That in a Box. So if you want to go have a listen to that, listen to that. But it was just interesting to see, again, what came out of the woodwork. But it reminded me of that time when I was starting to tell more of my stories again online, finding my groove. I'd gotten my work. I was coming out of the initial part of my first section of the injury. So I was starting, as soon as I could stand on my feet for longer than 45 minutes, I was on the gym floor, right? So my injury happened 3 months after I qualified to become a personal trainer. I managed to get a job doing graphic design, account management, helping build the social media side, and help work within a protein company. So I was part mixing protein in the kitchen. Excuse me. That fan's very annoying. Actually, I'm going to turn it off. Sorry, did you miss me? Yeah, turn that off. So I was working for a family friend's protein company. It was my mum's friend. She was driving me absolutely insane. Her business partner also left eventually. She was an interesting person to work with. Anyway, as soon as I could stand on the gym floor, I was at F45, and I remember regularly I always took the morning classes. Same as when I worked at a gym in London, I was always morning reception. I loved it. I preferred doing the mornings because I was done earlier in the afternoon. I felt like I still had the whole rest of my day, and I was still working a full-time job. But what I remember happening when I started posting the lights going on in the gym and the class times that I was doing in the morning, it was about 6 months in or 3 months in, and I remember starting to get messages from people going, oh, wow, you're so consistent, so, it's so good that you're doing it all the time. And maybe because it's a gym setting, they were kind of also disassociating that from the fact that I was turning up to work. But I remember thinking, I'm on the same train as my clients into the gym. They are there at that time for themselves. I'm showing up to work. I'm showing up to get paid. They're here because they've made this commitment, and that's the time slot that fits in their day before they then have the rest of their day, because they've committed to taking care of their own health and fitness. And it's just reminded me this morning, coming in, we're going to start our session at 6:45 in the morning. This lovely lady, this lovely client, she's a lawyer, recently started a new job. So the first couple of months we were doing 9, 10 a.m. sessions. So that's been really nice. And then obviously with this new job, her schedule's back to early starts in the office, and they keep eking her morning meetings earlier and earlier. And she sent me a message saying, I'm really sorry, can we do, 8 o'clock on a Monday and Friday and 6:45 on a Wednesday? And I'm like, yep, we can, as long as you can, I can. That's part of the job as a trainer. It makes me so happy that other people are still committing to themselves. That's the biggest thing. Even with those meetings moving closer and closer, it'd be so easy for her to just turn around and say, I can't fit it, it's too much. But to be able to be taking care of herself and to notice, the fact that she's noticed such a difference in her training just over the last 8 weeks, this is what blows my mind, especially with fitness, is that it really doesn't take that long in the grand scheme of things to start feeling like a different person. This lady, same lady, went on a business trip last week to Korea. She decided while she was getting on the plane, she normally asks the flight attendants to put her luggage in the top overhead compartment. And she thought this time, she was side-eyeing her luggage. She's like, maybe I can do it myself. And she did. Picked up the luggage, put it in, and she was like, I did it, no problem. And it's the quality of life. It's the coming to me one session and laughing and saying, now I can pick up my kids better than my husband because I've been training, or now my kids just want to play with me and they want to be picked up all the time because I'm strong enough to pick them up. When it comes to those pillars, mind, movement, media, it's yes, your mental health, you've got to get yourself in enough to, even put yourself into convincing yourself to go and train. But honestly, if I was to put any of those pillars first, movement in terms of order of importance, because even if you're not doing anything, moving will sort your brain out. That's the biggest thing. And yes, it takes a little bit of this to get yourself into the gym, but just start, just do something. And I think this also, there's that eke into picking one thing or having to do one thing. Just move. I still remember the first time my body actually ever changed into a shape that I was happy with. And it was the first time I looked in the mirror and I told myself, I was like, stop. Oh, the music's just turned on. That means somebody here. I was like, stop. I've lost my thread. That's thrown me off. I'm going to have to go. Anyway, I was like, stop focusing on the numbers on the scale and giving yourself a hard time, and just move, just enjoy, just do different activities. And within, again, 6 to 8 weeks, my body shape had taken on a different form that I was feeling so much happier with because I just got on with the moving. And James Smith PT says this, and I'm pretty sure he still takes this stand. He's like, he hates cycling and spinning. He's like, but if that's the type of exercise that you enjoy and that's going to get you moving, do it. He's like, I don't care what you do, just move. And if you want a gym program, here's my gym program. So, so much of this just really comes back to, are you courageous? And it's funny, it almost even comes back to courage. Are you courageous enough to actually start taking care of yourself first? Because so many of these external problems will start solving themselves, or at least you will find the clarity that you're looking for to solve them, or at least you will find the headspace to think of a way out or come up with a creative solution to move yourself from where you are to where you want to be, as long as you get back into your body and start taking care of it. Like, at least for 6 to 8 weeks, I feel like there should be a rule. People cannot complain about their business, about their finances, about their anything if they haven't actually been taking care of their body or moving or walking or training for the last 6 to 8 weeks consistently. Like, if you haven't been doing that, what are you actually complaining about to start with? Because you're giving yourself a worse time, and you're not giving yourself an opportunity to even think if you're trying to solve all these problems from the same space and from the same confusion that's causing them. And so, yeah, order of importance, move your body, sort your mind out, and then get creative again and relight that spark. It is your job to stay inspired. It is your job to get inspired. That's not anybody else's job, and they can't do that for you, because no one knows what that combination of things is that will light you up. You have to go find that. And then go find the coaches and go find the courses that will help. Don't work backwards in that sense. Like, yes, you can have a North Star of where you think you want to go, but if you haven't been taking care of this for very long, what you think is more often than not crowded in so many shoulds. And you'll end up barreling down a line that you'll end up having to do a U-turn and coming right back from anyway. So, yeah, I don't know. Again, we like to overcomplicate this, but keeping it simple. Train. Move your body. See if you feel any better. This is a short episode. I'm going to have my coffee and I'm going to go find my client.